Hello guys, welcome to another lecture. In this lecture we will see Laplace transform. So for any continuous time signal xt, Laplace transform xs can be given as this equation 1, which is integration minus infinity to infinity xt e to the power minus st dt, where s is sigma plus j omega, which is complex frequency, and the real part of s is damping factor, which is sigma, and imaginary part of s is oscillation frequency in radian per second, which is omega. So by placing the value of s in equation 1, we can get this equation 2, which is integration minus infinity to infinity xt e to the power minus sigma t e to the power minus j omega t dt. So Laplace transform of signal xt is simply the Fourier transform of signal xt e to the power minus sigma t. Laplace transform is not unique. Different signals can have same Laplace transform, so additional information has to be provided along with the Laplace transform of the signal, so that we can distinguish between different signals having same Laplace transform. And that additional information is known as region of convergence, ROC. So let us see how different signal can have same Laplace transform. So let us take xt as e to the power minus at ut. Xs will be integration minus infinity to infinity e to the power minus at ut e to the power minus st dt, which will be by placing s as sigma plus j omega and taking real part outside, we can write this in this way. And because of ut, this limit became 0 to infinity, and this integral will converge only if when we will put this limit infinity, as t will be infinity, so power of exponential became minus infinity. So this a plus sigma real part should be greater than 0, then only this integral will converge. So sigma should be greater than minus a. This is called region of convergence. So this Laplace transform of this signal will only converge in this region when real part of s or sigma will be greater than minus a, which is a real part of s. This should be greater than minus a. Let us take another example. Let us say xt is minus e to the power minus at u of minus t. For this, again xs can be written as minus infinity to infinity to the power minus at u of minus t e to the power minus st dt. So now this will be, because of u of minus t, this limit became from minus infinity to 0 e to the power minus a plus sigma t e to the power minus j omega t dt. So when we will put this limit as minus infinity here, so this became plus infinity if this a plus sigma is positive. So to converge this integral, this a plus sigma should be less than 0. So the real part of s should be less than minus a. So this is region of convergence, and this integral will become 1 upon s plus a. So we can see here that Laplace transform of minus e to the power minus at u of minus t is same as Laplace transform of e to the power minus at ut. Only the difference is this region of convergence. Here sigma should be greater than minus a, and here sigma should be less than minus a. So to distinguish the Laplace transform of e to the power minus at u of minus t and e to the power minus at ut, we have to give this additional information, which is region of convergence. So we can see region of convergence is an important information which we have to provide with the Laplace transform of any signal. So, region of convergence may be defined as those range of sigma or real part of S for which Laplace transform of xt or equivalently Fourier transform of xt to the power minus sigma t converges, that is having finite value. There are some important properties of ROC which are as follows. Since the region of convergence of Laplace transform depends only upon real part, that is sigma, so the shape of ROC will be a straight line parallel to j omega axis. For a rational Laplace transform, ROC never contain any pole because Laplace transform cannot converge at a pole. Third property is if xt is a right-sided signal and if the ROC contain a line sigma equal to sigma naught, then all the values of sigma for which sigma greater than sigma naught will also be present in ROC. A right-sided signal is this. A right-sided signal is defined as its value is 0 prior to some constant value, prior to some time instant. Means its value is 0, xt is 0 for t less than 0, it means this signal is right-sided. Fourth property is if xt is left-sided and if a line sigma equal to sigma naught is in the ROC, then all values of sigma for which sigma less than sigma naught will also be present in ROC. A left-sided signal is defined as its value is 0 after some time instant. So here this xt is 0 for t greater than 0, t greater than t naught, it means this xt is right-sided signal. Next property is for a right-sided signal, the ROC is always right to the rightmost pole, and for a left-sided signal, the ROC is always left to the leftmost pole. For a two-sided signal, the ROC is always between two poles, but does not contain any pole. Last property is for a finite duration absolutely integrable signal, the ROC is always entire S-plane. Means a finite duration absolutely integrable signal will converge in entire S-plane.